Nasty Noob. Welcome to the State of the Dynasty. Want to give you guys a quick update on some going ons around the league. First up is EA Play, man. I have my plane tickets bought, hotel reserved, so I will be in the building come next month, less than a month now almost, to flying out to Hollywood. Be my first time on the West Coast. Gonna hook up with Tone Dog out there, get some dinner with him and his girl, and my wife and my daughter. So that'll be interesting, man. I've known Tone for about 4 or 5 years now, so it'll be nice to put a face to the group me messages. So that should be interesting. While I'm out there, man, I'm just gonna be trying to make some connections, man, meet people. It's a lot of guys, man. It's a lot of going ons that happens in the CL community, man. It's a lot of politicking. It's almost, I like to call it House of Cards, man. It's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that's kind of cutthroat, to be honest with you. I was quite surprised at what goes on just running one of these CFM leagues, but should be interesting, man, to meet a lot of these guys and just network, man, because we're still trying to push to get to where we're trying to get as a league. But moving on to the high stakes season, topic number two. Just want to get everybody that's new here a quick breakdown on how it works. The order for teams that do not make the playoffs will be determined by the CFM system. So how they have you listed will be how you will draft in the 2018 Madden team draft. So that's not up to me. So your goal is to try to make the playoffs and finish as high as possible. Next, if two or more non-playoff teams have the same record, the tiebreaker will go to the team that scored the most points during the season and so forth. So this means that at no point during the high stakes season do you take your foot off the gas. Your opponent can cry as much as they want, but your goal is to put up as many points as you possibly can. Because if it comes down to a tiebreaker, man, you want that. You want to get that best possible seeding that you can. All right, for the playoff teams by round, wild card round. Losers of the wild card round will be placed in order by season record. So I think that's pretty much explanatory. Divisional round. Losers of the divisional round will be placed in order by season record as well. As we get to the conference championship, losers of the conference round will be placed in order by the season record as well. So you can see there's a pattern here. And then the Super Bowl winner will have the first pick, and the run-up will have the number 2 pick. So at that point, they'll be on the clock. Currently in the process of trying to work out the logistics for the live draft. I know we had a live draft last season, and it went over quite well. So we'll probably do that again. But the guy that handled that is no longer here, so I'm trying to have to figure out how exactly he did it so that it works out for us. The way that I'm thinking, we'll go live. Everyone will have a couple hosts on the show to host the draft. You guys will text me your pick for which team you want, and then we'll reveal it live on the show. If you happen to miss your allotted time, which I believe we'll give everybody 5 minutes to make the pick, if you miss your 5 minute window, then you slide down one, and you'll keep sliding until at some point I get your team selection, and then you'll fall in right there. So that's how it worked last year. So that'll be how it works this year. Now, moving on to topic three, I'm constantly getting, I guess, text messages from users in the league asking, "Am I active enough in the league?" That's quite simple and easy answer, man. If you have to ask that, then you're not active enough. You know, uh, each season takes about a month to complete, maybe just over a month to complete. So in that month, 30 days, let's say 30 days, just over 30 days. So you have to explain, I guess, to the guys that are very active in the league why you can't jump on one show throughout the 30-day window. One show. One show. Hell, if you only do one show every 60 days, but you're doing other things to help advance the league, you know, just not showing up, just playing your game, uh, posting to the website, doing Twitter, all that stuff. It's kind of all that stuff is mandatory. So we're always asking for you to jump on the show, man. Bring a new voice, a new flavor to the league, man. Because if you're listening to the same dudes over and over, it gets kind of boring. I really don't like doing these shows, man, because I don't think that's my wheelhouse. I know several dudes in this league that are really good at that. That that's just their thing. I'm more behind the scenes guy doing production and putting stuff together. That's my wheelhouse. I enjoy that. Don't want to be uh, in the forefront, but sometimes it's called for to keep stuff moving forward. So I do it. But in saying that, if you've never been on a show and you know that you will never be on a show, then you probably won't be here in Madden 18. I'm gonna be very honest with you, very straight up honest with you. As we get ready to transition over to Madden 18, just like we did in Madden 17, uh, this group me, the current group me that we're all in, will be disbanded and a new one will be set up. If you happen to find yourself not being in the new one, then you'll know that your time in the dynasty has come to an end. It's not that difficult, man, to get on the show for 5 minutes. I got to give a big ups to Underrated, man. He jumped on the show. He jumped on Dynasty Prime Time just yesterday, man. First time on the show. Uh, it's always nerve wracking, man. That first show can be the most stressful because you don't know what's going on. Uh, it's a learning experience. Just jumping on that first show. I know for myself, I'm not quick with it like some of the guys in the league, like Lord and Expert and a couple other guys. So for me, it's a grind to get on the show. I'll be honest with you. But if you know that you're never gonna do that, and you know that you're not gonna do stuff that's not required in the rules, then you're not gonna be here. I've also had people say that, well, I donated such and such money. That's cool. That gets you through Madden 17. So you're here for the duration of Madden 17. That does not guarantee you a slot in Madden 18. And I'm at the point where it takes money to run this league because of all the stuff we do. But now I'm starting to see I'd rather have your time as opposed to your money at this point. I still need the donations for different things. You see all the intros, you see the flyers, you see all the other stuff. Uh, I'm trying to send T-shirts to EA, to some of the developers, so that when they start promoting the game in August and they're on the live EA streams, hey, maybe they'll have our T-shirt on, and that gives us great plug for the league. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know, but it helps. Every little bit helps. So I'm asking for your time as opposed to your money at this point. I still need the funds from time to time to do different things, but your time is more important than jump on the show, helping us out, providing that new voice, different perspective. It is what it is. I've had one guy that we just removed from the league tell me, well, I work from 8 to 8. Uh, and I don't want to hear that. And my response to him was, I have a wife, I have 2 kids, one on the way. I produce all the shows, do all the editing, play my game, and I'm in like another league as well. So I'm not asking you to do half or even a quarter of the stuff that I do. So for you to come at me and give me an excuse, that's a quick way for you to get up out the door, man. Because I don't want to hear that. Why would I want to hear that with as much as I have going on, man? I have a life, I have a job, I have a shit going on too. So, like I stated, if you know you have zero plans, zero, nada, of jumping on the show, then when Madden 17, the high stakes season is over, know that your time with us is over, man. That's it. There's no hard feelings. There's nothing. I look at it, man. At this point, is I can't keep begging people, man. When I have guys on Twitter, because as we grow and we get more publicity and more people, the spotlight is put on us more. More guys hit me up that want to get in, and the first thing I ask them, or the first thing that I tell them is, if you're gonna be here, you have to be active. You have to work. Just playing your game does not fly in this league, and they almost beat down the door. Hey, I'll do whatever you need me to do to get in this league. I'm cool. But then I'm being loyal to guys that I have to say this aren't loyal to me, because they're not helping me do anything to advance the league, man. You know, these shows and all the other stuff that we do, that's what gets us noticed, man, because there's an end goal to this. I'm not gonna say it on the show, but we'll talk about it in the chat. There's an end goal to everything I'm doing. Trust me, when it started this last summer, there's some guys that's still here that didn't believe or did not see the vision of what I had in mind for the league and where I want to take the league. But I believe they're starting to come around because they're starting to see the results of what I've been talking about. You know, a lot of people didn't want to do the Twitter, but I knew what Twitter was for. Twitter was for promotion of the league, to get the league out there for other guys to see exactly what we're doing. I knew that what was what it was for. Yeah, it caused a little bit of extra work, but posting 4 times a season was not asking for too much. But I'm not gonna beat that dead horse, man. Like I said, if you know you're never gonna jump on the show, you know you're not gonna do anything else outside of, playing your game or doing the bare minimum, you won't be here in 18. It's just that simple, man. I'm not begging anymore. I got other stuff to take care of, to try to move this league forward. But just the last thing, man, on my list I want to talk about was, trying to get interviews, but with the developers. But that's something that we could talk about in the chat, man. Don't want to put that out in the YouTube sphere at this point, man. Just want to keep that in house at this point. If you have any questions, you want to figure out how you can be more active, you can hit up myself. You can hit up SJ. You can hit up Lord. Hell, you can hit up any of the guys that are on any shows, and I'm sure they'll be more than glad to, bring you on their show just to interview you, man, just to get your opinion and thoughts on some different things. Also, if you have an idea for a show, you want your own voice, your own vehicle, hit me up. I'm here for you to help you create the intro. Uh, Try to tighten up the show as much as possible, because I guess with all our shows we're gonna try to tighten them up, man. To you know tighten up the time to where it's not running as long, maybe 30 to 45 minutes per show, uh, so that it's just not as drawn out as it has been in the past. But like I said, if you have any questions, man, hit me up. And I'm out. This is Nasty Noob. Peace.